Cheers, people. What is up? I'm Renn. This is the machine, and it is day 56 of flower in here for these girls. And the fade has started in earnest, along with the high pH and the lockout. They are looking as well as can be expected, which is not well at all. And what I've done is I just got through watering, and today's going to be all about pH. So we're going to take a look at the pH in these 8 pots, and then we're going to check the pH in all the rest of my soil. Joy. Cheers. Thanks for showing up, people. All right. Now this is just to give you an idea of what I'm up against, what I'm working with. Okay, not only do I have the 8 plants that are in flower, and then I've got those are all in number 3 pots. Then I've got all the ones that are in the veg room that are in number 1 pots. Then I've got this tote we're going to call A. That's 33.6 pounds. This has all been treated. Now I bought 2 bags of the soil acidifier for, it was like $30 something. I forget the exact price. And that allowed me to treat all the plants that are in the flowering room right now, the veg room right now, and then this tub, like I said, 33 pounds. Now, that leaves me with these 4. $27 pounds, 25 pounds, 27 pounds, and 28 pounds. And this all has yet to be treated. I say treated, I mean retreated. Like I said, I lost where I was in the treating of all this stuff. It is only just recently that I have got this all into toast and weighed it. I did this just yesterday. And so now we're going to test with this. This is my Fairy Morse. This is the one that has taken at least one fall of over 6 feet, enough to explode the batteries out the back. I'm not sure I trust it, but it's all I've got. We're going to use my Fairy Morse. I've got my water that's been sitting out. I'm going to take 3 samples out of each of these totes, and we're going to see what's what. All right, so out of this first tub, there's 2, 3 samples. All right, so there we've got our 3 samples from the first tote. Now it says the samples need to be thoroughly moist, so we're going to moisten them thoroughly because we can read. Now the instructions for this tester also say these electrodes need cleaned every time, so we're going to do that. Remove any tarnish or anything else that could be on there to foul the reading. Going to make sure this soil is saturated. I don't want any dry voids in there because that'll affect the reading. All right, I'm finally starting to see some water come out of the bottom of these. All right, that's got it. Okay, so those could not be any more moist. Up for pH. Okay, now this is the tote that I've already treated. Now the treatment's only been in there for 2 weeks, and it really has to be in there 3 to 4 before it starts to make a big difference. just over 7. Oh, just under, so still moving a little bit. So good. For records, I'm just going to call that 7. Wipe it off. Scrub it off. On to the next one. Looks like it's going to wind up about 7 as well. Yeah, I could drop a little bit more, but I'm not going to just wait and wait forever. I'm going to call that 7. It's probably going to end up there. Right now it looks like it's about 7.5, 7.1, something like that. 7.5, 7.1. Anyway, next, wipe it off. Scrub it off. Plant it. Now I'll probably end up going into the flowering room and seeing if I can scrounge enough of the soil off the top of the pots to get a cupful of this. If not, I'll just have to wait till I water and test the pots that way. I think they may actually be due for water today, so that'll work out just right. Alright, so this is headed down. Looks like it's going to wind up around 7 as well. It's hard for me to know if I'm holding this meter straight to the camera or not, because I'm off at an angle. But yeah, that looks about 7, so we're going to call that. Alright, this is the next tub, B. First sample. Second sample. Third sample. Alright, again with the water. You can see this soil's been unused long enough that it's hydrophobic. Alright, let's got it. So again, I'm gonna wipe. I'm gonna scrub. Now again, none of this has been treated. Well, it has been treated, but it's been several months, many months. And some of this is going to be in better shape than others. So like I said, it's hard to keep all, a couple 100 pounds of this stuff homogeneous. And that would be ideal. Looks like this one's sitting right around 7. That's good to see. Good to see, good to see. So I will be treating all this with some more acidifier. Looks like it's hanging right about 7 and 7.5, 7.1. Wipe it. Scrub it. On to the next one. Okay, so looks like this one's going to settle out to be right in line with the other. So just 7 or right over. So that's good. Needs to be better. But it's in better shape than I was thinking it might be. Like I said, all these totes are going to be different, and I have no idea what totes I potted those white gold that are in there suffering right now out of. But yeah, you can see, at 7, that's where, you're going to start seeing lockout, 7 and above. It's when it can happen. And it seems like some of these types of plants handle the low, or the high pH rather, better than others. Yeah, it's gonna land right about 7 as well. That's good. All right, on to tote C. All right, now this is tub C. These things were taking forever to rehydrate, so I have got that done. So these totes have not been used in a while. So I have wiped it, I have scrubbed it. Let's check this one first. So this is more what I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see these things running 7.2, 7.3 to 4, somewhere around there. Under 7.5, but it's still heading down. Looks like that one's going to finish up just right over 7. So very near to what B was running. Let's check the next one. Looks like I might have oversaturated this one a little bit. It's draining though. This is also why I'm taking 3 samples out of each tote. The totes are so large, I realize that the pH can fluctuate within the tote to a fairly large degree. Yeah, see, it looks like this particular sample is running a bit higher at this point. Like I said, I did have this thing oversaturated, and if the probes can't make contact with the material, then it can't do its thing. But yeah, it looks like this one's going to pan out around 7.2, let's say. Maybe a little lower, but I'm not going to wait. It's high. Yeah, I think I oversaturated this batch of soil a little bit. Yeah, again, this one looks like it's going to wind up running high as well, or higher. Sitting right at 7.5. It's creeping down. Yeah, I'm saying this is going to wind up around 7.2, 7.3. And yeah, see, if I potted those last plants that are in the flowering room right now out of one of these totes that are running high like this, you can see the problem. Lockout. Yeah, that's going to be like 7.3, maybe 7.2, 7.3. It might come down a little bit, but I'm not going to wait. So the first 2 totes were right at 7. And this one's going to be average. I'm going to call this 7.2, 7.1, 7.2. On to the next one. All right, well, here we are with the samples from tote D, and they all feel about the same weight. So it should be hydrated about the same. I've given them time to drain a little bit more than that last tote. So turn it on, stab it, see where she goes. Okay, it looks like this one's going to land right about the same spot as tote C did, right about 7.1 or 7.2. We'll wait and see if it creeps down a little bit. It'd be better if it did. So I'm already looking at probably, I don't know, $60 to $90 worth of, well, that was strange. $60 to $90 worth of soil acidifier to bring all this down to where it needs to be. Said I don't know where this number 1 tote's going to land because the soil acidifier that's in it now is still doing its job. Well, this is nice. Okay, this is going to land right about 7.1. Let's call that 7.1. So let's say C and D at this point are about the same. All right, wipe it off, scrub it off, on to the next one. This looks like it's going to shape up to be about the same thing. If past performance is any indication of future, again, I'm trying to hold this straight to the camera. I'm off to the edge a little bit, so yeah, we're going to call that 7.1. That's probably where it's going to land if I wait long enough. Yeah, we'll call it 7.1. On to the next one. This particular sample seems to be falling off a little bit quicker, which is going to help the average of the tote out. So if this particular sample is a little bit lower, it means there's a good chance that other parts of that tote are going to be a little bit lower as well. That's why I'm taking 3 samples out of each one. These totes are so large. Yeah, that's hell, is that going to drop below 7? It's hard for me to look at it straight on. Hell, that looks like that might drop below 7. Huh. Well, look at that. That's a good sign. Okay. So I'm just going to call that 7, even though it's just below it. Yeah. Maybe even 6.9. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, that's hopeful. I'm glad to see that. All right. So we're going to call tote D. We're just going to call average the same as B and C. We're going to call it average like 7.1. All right, on to the next ones. All right, here we are with the final tote, the D tote. It has been cleaned, scrubbed. Here we go. Well, looks like this one's going to land about 7.2. So I don't see it really dropping. Unless it takes a jump. Yeah, it's falling a little bit. Let's call that 7.1. So it looks like this is going to fall in line with totes B, C, and D. Yeah. Maybe 7. I don't know. It looks like we get in line with it. Get it up to the 7.1 maybe. Seven, 7.1. It's gonna fall. Yeah, man. Let's call that 7. Better than I was thinking it was gonna be. Glad to see it. Like I said, the lower all these are, that's the less money I'm gonna have to spend on a soil acidifier. Said even as it stands, I'm already looking at $60 to $90 worth of this stuff just to treat what I haven't treated already. And I don't know how you people live, but I could eat for a couple of months off that much money, maybe even 3 months. I don't go out, I don't eat out, I cook all my own food. I am super low maintenance. So yeah, I mean, if I'm buying 2 bags of acidifier for $30, I could buy a lot of food for $30. Looks like this sample might run a little bit higher. I don't know. We're going to wait a little bit, see if it drops. We're going to call that 7.1. So even if it drops a little bit more, it's still high. Okay. All right. Last one of the totes. The last E-tote sample. At the rate it's falling, it looks like it's going to be high as well. Probably in the 7.1 range. Maybe 7.2. Probably 7.1. So again, yeah, we're just going to call totes B through E 7.1 for the sake of averages. Yeah, that's dropping. So yeah, I'm going to call that 7.1. All right, and these are all the totes. Those are the slugs after I've taken the samples out of each tote. And there you go. So that's going to be about 7.1 for all these and about 7 for this one. But this one has been treated along with all the plants and the veg in the flowering room and is headed down. So we can scratch this one off the list for now. Rock on. All right, here we are. I've already got them watered. And as per the instructions, I've wiped these down, I've scrubbed them down with the scrubber, so now we just have to check it. All right, got her turned on, got her stabbed. Let's see. Now remember, these have all had the soil treated in the top portion of the pots. You know, I stir the stuff in as deep as I can get it with a chopstick, but it's still not going to get it, you know, all the way down to the bottom of the pot. So it has to be watered in, and this has only been in here for 2 weeks now, I think. So we're going to take a look at a couple different spots in the pot. And we knew these were running high. Looks like this one's going to finish up right around 7, which is consistent with what we were seeing in the tubs. 7.1, which yeah, we knew it was high and it was locked out. Just weren't quite sure where it was at. Said it was higher than this, presumably 2 weeks ago, before I added the soil acidifier. So we're going to call that 7 and move on to the next one. Okay, I wiped it off and I scrubbed it off. This looks like it's running a little bit higher, 7.1 to 7.2, so probably 7.1 at least. Again, consistent with what we're seeing with the lockout. So about the time things are ready for harvest, should be about 7 and lowering, because I'll continue to treat them. We're going to call that 7-1. Move on to the next. All right, wiped it off and scrubbed it off. Let's find a good spot to plant this thing. Ooh, felt like I hit something. All right, let's see what we got here. Looks like this particular pot is running a little bit hotter. We're going to call that 7-1 to 7-2. Probably closer to 7-1, consistent with the rest of them, because all the soil was pretty much out of one or two of those totes, and they're all pretty close to each other. Looks like this is, we're going to call this 7-2, maybe 7-1. Again, much too high. Next. All right. I'll be glad when this little chore is over with, because this has been it's been some work. It is hot in this house. Looks like this one's going to wind up about 7-2. Probably 7-1 if I wait long enough. Again, consistent with what we've been seeing. On to the next one. Okay, here we go. Cleaned off, scrubbed off pot number 5. Looks like it moves pretty quick until it gets to like the 7.5 point, then it starts slowing down. And the way this one's moving, it's probably going to wind up around 7-1, 7-2. Again, consistent with what we've been seeing. And I will be checking these every week. I won't be filming it every week, but I'll be checking it and I'll report in on it. I might film it, I might not. I don't know. This has been a huge pain in the ass to do all this and film it. But yeah, it's going to top around 7-1. Call that 7-2. On to the next. And again, I'm just assuming that this meter is accurate. I have no way to check it. I don't have a testing medium that is exactly 7 on the pH scale or 6 or anything like that. So I just have to assume that it's correct. But yeah, it's going to be about the same. It's going to be about 7-1. On to the next one. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what accounts for it hanging up and then shooting off like that. I've been following the instructions and cleaning the probes between each test, wiping it off, scrubbing it. So that's all I can do. Again, that's going to stop right around 7-1, 7-2. It might drop down into 7 range, but I'm not going to wait. On to the last one. All right, for the last time. This time. Yeah, I don't know if it's the moisture content in the soil that accounts for the movement. I'm really not sure how that needle's set up to operate. Sometimes it moves quicker than the others, sometimes it'll hang up and then move. I don't know. Anyway, this looks like it's going to end up probably around 7, maybe a little bit lower. Again, it probably depends on how well I've got this stuff, the soil acidifier mixed in, and if it's hitting a pocket of the acidifier or not. Hell, I don't know. But anyway, that's looking good. That's the best pot yet. Actually, it's dropping a little bit below 7. All right, people, there you go. If you're growing, I hope you're kicking ass. If you're not growing, I hope you start soon. If you don't have a pH meter, get one. Learn how to use it, and don't forget to use it. Cheers, people. Later.